Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're saying this, I hope you are good. So guys, today we're going to be getting into a message all about summer and what we can expect with summer. I feel like the energies have been a little chaotic. I don't know what's been going on with June, but I feel like June has just been really bringing a lot of different energies. But you know, this is the year to basically see what we are made of, because next year is definitely going to be a year of challenges. It's going to be a year of necessary change. It's going to be a year of steps that we are going to have to take. Like, a lot of us are going to be pushed into change next year. So this is about figuring out if you have the cojones to make it happen. This is about figuring out what you need to change about your mindset, about your outlook, about your perspective, and just really being able to show up as who you need to be so you can be your full self, so you can fulfill your purpose, you know, so you can get the most out of this life. We know the goal is always happiness and healing. So of course we want to do what we need to so we can get to that point. So that's what we're going to be doing. I have a bunch of oracle cards. We're going to just be getting into a collective message. I haven't pulled anything. Everything is still in the box, and we're going to be getting into it deck by deck with you guys. So I hope you guys are ready to get into the tea. Let me know in advance how this message resonates with you down below. If there's different things that you're, resonating with, different quotes or different specific things that's jumping out to you, y'all know how the tea be. So just let me know down below. And of course, as always, if you guys want to book sessions with me, connect with me, work with me, shop with me, check down below in the description box. And also, Fruitful You Coaching, my business mentorship. I'm going to do a 60-day mentorship this time instead of 90 days. So yes, the mentorship is going to be 60 days instead of 90 days now, but it's going to be coming back in September. And I believe I'm going to start taking spots in the middle of July. So if you have been wanting to join Fruitful You, then get into it. I'm also going to have some business content coming very soon, so we could just kind of start talking about the business and manifestation vibes. But let's go ahead and get right into this reading, guys, all about the summer and what you can expect. So let's go ahead and start off with the first deck that I always start off with. Right here we have the Angel Answers Oracle cards. So let's go ahead and just get into it. And hopefully I can remember to kind of like put my cards up as I'm using them. But right out the gate, I feel like this is going to be a good summer. But I feel like our good doesn't necessarily translate into spiritual good. A good summer for us may be partying, living it up, drinking, smoking, tripping, and I mean going on trips, going on a lot of vacations, having a lot of fun, just doing all of the things. And that may be a good summer. But again, we are really on a collective journey to see more into our purpose, to recognize what doesn't belong, and to just kind of all get to this next chapter of life. So I think this summer is really going to be preparing us for that. And I think we've been able to see that a little bit. Now, summer hasn't started yet. The season of summer is going to be starting in about a week and a half. So we have a little bit more time before we step into the season of summer, but it's going to be a beneficial one and an eye-opening season for sure. So the first card that we have is Peaceful Resolution. Peaceful Resolution. So we're getting some peaceful resolution energy, resolving some conflict. Like I mentioned, this is going to be all about discovering if we can handle what we need to handle. So if we need to have some peaceful resolutions with some people, if we need to, make some discussions or even have some discussions with ourselves, this is going to be the time to kind of start brainstorming and just ask yourself, what do I need to say? How do I need to come off? What do I need to finally face? I guess I'll let that come out too. I usually don't take the cards that jump out, but since I'm kind of doing the reading as I'm getting the cards, I figure I might as well, All right, that's all we're going to do from this Angel Answers. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we already said peaceful resolution. We also have if you believe. If you believe. So let's just break this down card by card, because I feel like each card is bringing something different. So for some of us, if you believe. For some of us, you really don't have faith that you'll be able to have a peaceful resolution. And it may not necessarily be peaceful in the beginning, but I think you'll really be surprised by what happens. So for some of us, this is going to be a test of your intuition, a test of your strength, a test of your faith. And this is what I feel like. I feel like all humans are in moments at the same time, but the moment does something different for everybody. So COVID was a moment that all humans experienced. If you were a human being alive on the earth and COVID was going on, you were aware of it. Okay, unless you in the Amazon hidden tribe or something like that, but you're gonna be aware of what's going on. Everybody experienced COVID as a collective. So we all had different effects from that. It all affected us different. It all showed us something different. I think we're all gonna have a peaceful resolution. It may be a peaceful resolution with yourself. It may be a peaceful resolution with a family member. It may be a peaceful resolution with your children's parent that you don't get along with or what have you. but we have if you believe. So I think some of us really, really, really need to have faith. If you have to make a peaceful resolution with somebody and you know the opportunity is going to present itself soon, or you just know, like, I have to say something to this person, but I know it's not going to work out. I know it's not going to work out. You may never know. Remember that it takes two to tango. So if you are feeling called to say something to someone, there's a chance that they need to say something in return or show you something in return. Okay. So don't try to put off meeting those opportunities of conversation. Don't try to put it off. Don't try to be like, oh, I'll talk to him later. This isn't the right place. If you have an opportunity to do it, you can have any kind of conversation, you know. Something that I always think about, because y'all know I be watching Housewives, and on Housewives, they always got smoke at a birthday party, at a dinner, at an event, and they're always like, this is the place, this isn't the place. If you can have effective, healthy communication, it's always a place to have a discussion, you know, always. So get into the habit of being able to have these discussions. Now, we don't mean try to have the heart-to-heart at the funeral or at, you know, the baby's christening. You know, we still want to use discernment in these spaces. You know, we want to make sure that we come at people when they're in a space that they can hear us. But if you have that opportunity, because some of us have those golden opportunities where it could just be us and them in an honest environment, and we're like, I'm not ready yet. So if the opportunity presents itself, make sure you step into it. We also have take action. Take action. So, you know, if you ain't gonna do it, then get off the pot. You know, if you ain't gonna commit to it, then stop playing with it. You know, I think that's gonna be a really big message this summer. If you said I'm gonna get fit, if you said I'm gonna find my tribe, if you said I'm gonna start my business, if you said I'm gonna be a YouTuber, if you said I'm gonna move, whatever you said you're gonna do, let this be the moment where you say, what is the first step? And even if I'm not ready for the first step, what step can I take before the first step? You know, I was just talking to someone in a business consultation, and I was saying, even if you're not ready to invest the money in your business, you can invest your time and energy into building your social media platforms. So when you have the money to invest, you have the people ready to buy, and you get that return. You know, sometimes we don't have the budget because we don't have the drive. We don't have the faith. We don't believe in ourselves enough. We don't think that we can do it enough. It's always something that's blocking us. If there's an issue with the money flow, there's also an issue in faith, in hope, in your vision, and you believing it, and you having the right people around you. It's always something else. Even a fear or a doubt can be blocking your abundance, okay? So it's time to take action. Whatever you need to do, whatever you can do, even if you can't go all the way, even if you feel like there's more that you should do and you can't do everything you want to do, it's time to go forward. It's time to trust yourself and know that you have what it takes. Also, we have no need to worry. No need to worry. So of course, release stress, stop worrying, have the conversation. For some of us, we need to know that it's okay to have hard conversations. We need to release the anxiety about, you know, communicating with people. For some of us, it's about letting go of the fear that we have of speaking our truth. And we'll get that peaceful resolution, and we'll be like, oh, okay, this is how I need to go about speaking my truth. This is how I need to go about letting somebody know how I feel. If we do that, it will change so much. So get into it. And then lastly, we have no. So for some of us, it ain't gonna work out. For some of you, the peaceful resolution is gonna be you walking away from somebody for life and just saying, okay, I know that we can't be together. I know that you're not the right person for me. I know that it's just not our time, and I'm okay with that. I wish you the best. You know, so we're gonna have the opportunity to kind of see, you know, where these energies are picking up for us and how these energies are affecting us. 110%. You're gonna have a chance to see, how is this person talking down on me affecting me? How is this person leaving me out affecting me? How is this person talking over me in every conversation? How is that affecting me? It's going to be up to you to kind of pinpoint those things. It's also maybe up to you to, you know, initiate a conversation, but it's not up to you to save every relationship. Saving a relationship does not ever fall in the hands of one person. Saving a relationship has to fall evenly on both parties. If it doesn't, you could throw the relationship out. If you're fighting for a relationship by yourself, you've already lost. If you're fighting for a relationship by yourself, honey, you have already lost. You've already lost, because a relationship is supposed to be about you and somebody else. You cannot save this on your own. So for some of you, you may have to realize that. For some of you, you may have to recognize, okay, there's nothing else I can do here. I have to move on. You know, either way, we're going to see what we need to. So, alrighty, let's move on from angel answers and get into the energy oracle cards. Let's go ahead and see what we have. I love these energy oracle cards as always. So, okay, we kind of were guided through some messages about communication, peaceful resolution. Let's see what we have for our energy oracle cards. And then we're going to get into the tea leaf oracle so we can kind of get some details And then we're going to get some words of wisdom to kind of wrap us up. I feel like these cards are kind of sticking together. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the energy oracle. Let's see what this deck has for us, the energy oracle cards. Let's get into it. Ooh, all great things. So we have the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. We have Angel of Balance. We have Cornucopia. We have the Sun. And we also have door to value. Now let's break these things down. So of course we have the fourth chakra, your heart chakra. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Healing of the heart. I think this is great. You know, a lot of us, we have to get back to community. We have to get back to feeling like love is valuable. We have to get back to feeling like friendships matter. Even I've been in situations where I'm like, maybe I'll just be better off by myself. These friends ain't worth nothing. These people ain't worth nothing. Maybe I'll just be better off by myself. But the reality is that is an opinion based off of pain. That is not an opinion based out of trauma. I think in relationships, being in relationships is a space where we let our trauma control us the most. In love, most of the time we are solely being ruled by trauma. Your trauma leads you to a toxic situation. It leads you to not be honest about what you're feeling. It leads you to just put yourself on the back burner and take care of somebody else. It leads you to somebody that's just like the last person you stepped away from. It leads you to just never, honor yourself and just make yourself a slave to whatever anybody else wants, Or even worse, well, I don't even know what's worse, being in a toxic relationship or being so afraid to love that you think that everybody's gonna destroy you. They're probably both equally as bad, We either feel that way or we feel like, I'll never know love. So anytime somebody is close to me, I have to sabotage it. I have to hurt them. I have to make sure they get away from me. And most of the time, those two people end up together. Most of the time, someone that connects with love and attracts love out of trauma connects with someone who repels love from that same trauma, You very rarely find someone that is codependent on someone else that really wants their help. A codependent relationship looks like you trying to heal someone that will never get healed. So of course they want you to keep trying to help them because it makes them feel loved, but they keep having to deny you because they don't believe love even is real. They keep having to deny you because they don't value love. They don't value that compassion and that empathy that you're trying to show them. And you just want to heal and heal and heal and help and help and help, no matter what happens to you, not even realizing that the sicker they make you, the sicker your love is. If you're not in the right mind and the right energy, you cannot love someone in a healthy way. You cannot be a healthy friend. Whatever you're experiencing is absolutely going to be reflected in your relationships. If you're thinking that the stuff that you're battling with, that you're not attending to, if you're thinking that you can love people and that will heal you in some way, if you're thinking that you can be a healthy person to anyone in any kind of relationship and you haven't dealt with your own issues, then you have bigger issues to handle. And I mean real, real big. You absolutely will harm the people in your life if you're not dealing with your own problems. Absolutely. They will see it. It will affect them. You'll either enable them or you'll care too much and suffocate them. You can't have a balance in a relationship when you're not healed. So the fourth chakra, if we are desiring love, a different type of love, a different type of relationship, you're going to have a chance to heal that. So this is going to be revealed to you and it will be up to you to get into it. We have Angel of Balance. So being able to give yourself time, being able to give yourself love and making sure that you're giving yourself the things that you need. You don't want to be in a space where you feel like you're not worthy of a break. You're not worthy of, giving yourself that love that you're giving to everybody else. So I feel like we need to heal ourselves, but also make sure that we're creating healthy boundaries, So let this healing space of love be full, like a full rounded or well-rounded healing experience. Sometimes we just say, okay, I'm going to trust people. And then we forget about boundaries. And then we feel bad when we tell people no. We think that, okay, I'm trying to love people, so I need to let people do whatever. Like, no. We have to love, but we also need to be in a space where we are loved, where we are being taken care of, where we are being uplifted and supported and cared for, because no matter what love you're getting, if that isn't the case, it's not a love where you can grow. It's not a love that can help you heal. Love is supposed to be healing. It's supposed to change you. It's supposed to transform you. But you can't get that in a space where you can't get what you need. All love ain't good. And I always tell people, when you're trying to ask yourself if you should stay with somebody or if you should be with somebody, or even if you should have somebody in your life, love don't matter and how long y'all been together don't matter. I don't care if you got 27 years with somebody. That does not matter. I don't care if you love somebody so much as the first person you ever loved. That don't matter. You know what matters? You know what really matters? How you both benefit each other's lives. That's it. If you would stay with somebody just because of how they treat you, not because of the love and not because of how long y'all been together, not because of no history, just off of how they treat you, that's how you know. And if you really ask yourself that, I guarantee you'll probably clean house and cut a lot of people out of your life. But the people that will remain will be the people that you choose strictly off of how they benefit your life, strictly off of how they really care for you. Some people love you and they don't even bring you any good. Some people say they love you or they've been in your life forever. They don't even bring you any good. So is that really something to hold on to? That's going to be something a lot of us are going to have to ask ourselves. We have cornucopia, which talks about wishes being fulfilled. Wishes being fulfilled. For some of us, your wish may be a breakup. Your wish being fulfilled may be you cutting off that bad friend, and maybe you getting somebody nasty out of your life, okay? But your wish will be fulfilled. We also have sun, rebirth, new beginning. So I think a lot of us are going to be, in a space where we're like, what do I want now? And isn't this the most summer vibe card ever? Let me make sure I can get this. This is such a summer vibe card to me, like someone just like basking in a pond of, lily pads and flowers, like rebirth, a new beginning, creative new starts. This is an amazing space to be. And of course we have daughter value. So, I feel like it's definitely going to be a bag this summer. It's going to be a bag to get. It's going to be some coin to get this summer. So make sure you're ready. Make sure you're showing up for yourself and doing the things that you need to do so you can give yourself the things that you need, okay? So great. I feel like we have a lot of change, a lot of healing that we're going to be experiencing in our heart chakra, which is going to be amazing. Let's get into the tea leaf fortune cards. I hope you guys are feeling great about the vibes. Let's get into the tea leaf fortune cards and get some details. And then we're going to wrap up, like I mentioned, with some motivational messages. I hope that these cards don't jump all over the place. I would say this summer, just make sure you're being very, make sure you're just keeping your eyes on the prize and focusing on the bigger picture. Too often we focus on the stuff that doesn't matter. Just like I mentioned in my video about being inquisitive. Go watch the video about being inquisitive if you haven't seen it already. Don't just feel bad. Ask yourself why you're feeling bad. Don't just feel lonely. Ask yourself, why are you lonely? Don't just feel anything. When you just feel anything and you let your feelings determine your life, you're being controlled by your emotions. And children are controlled by their emotions. We're adults, okay? We are too grown to be controlled by our emotions. Don't let your emotions control you. When you feel bad, look at it, deal with it. Children cannot process their emotions. Children just sit and cry and they don't know why. You're an adult. Ask yourself why you're sad. Ask yourself why you fucked up. Ask yourself, don't just sit there and sit in it. Be an adult. Be an adult, be an adult, be an adult. Let this summer, and this isn't even a drag from the cards, this is just me dragging y'all. But, be an adult. Grow up. Stop just feeling sad and letting that be the end of it. If you're miserable in a relationship, get out of the relationship. If you're miserable at a job, get out the job or plan to get out of the job in 6 months. Give yourself 6 months to find a new job, save some money, step into a new space, do something different, Really, really, really challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone. Really challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone and do some things that are really going to change your life. All right, we have I. Psychic ability, trust your intuition. Do you want it? Do you want it? This is definitely the perfect time to step into your gifts. Any time where you have to do deep, deep healing, you have to be tapped into your discernment because you have to know why. If you're not intuitive, if you're not able to tap into yourself and do self-reflection, self-discovery, meditation, prayer, journaling, whatever, if you're not able to figure out what you're feeling and why, you're always going to think it's you. You're always going to think it's something else. You're never really going to be able to understand what issues you have to conquer. And how can you fix something or heal something if you don't even know where to begin? Okay, so we have psychic ability, trust your intuition. We also have wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. So there's definitely going to be a wedge, someone or something that's going to be trying to come between you and what you want. I think this is what we are already dealing with. I think a lot of us already have a wedge. I think this says someone, but I think this could be someone or something. I feel like there's definitely something trying to wedge its way between us and whatever we want. It could be your shadow. Like I said, it could be a bad relationship. It could be an unhealthy, toxic person in your life that always talks down on you. It could be somebody toxic at your job. Who knows what it is? But be mindful of what's trying to separate you from where you're going. And, don't take it personally. You know, anytime things don't work out, we always think that we're not doing the right thing. But sometimes you could be believing what people are telling you. If you have somebody that's insecure and they're speaking insecurity over yourself and you're not really that secure in it already, you're probably going to believe what that insecure person is saying. Like if you put on a dress and you're like, does this make me look good or does it not? And you're not really sure. And you ask somebody and they're like, no, it doesn't make you look good. You're going to be like, oh, okay. But half of you thought it made you look good. The other half wasn't too sure. You just needed that confirmation. And that's dangerous sometimes, because if you don't have somebody good around you to give you confirmation, they may always tell you to do the wrong thing. Some of y'all need to fire your therapist. Like me and my best friend were talking the other day. Some of these therapists need to be fired. Some of y'all therapists give y'all terrible motherfucking advice. Ask yourself if you're getting good advice from people, or ask yourself if you have people giving you terrible advice and that terrible advice is blocking you from your blessings, okay? We also have elephant. This says a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser in the end. So this is a journey. This is a long journey, but you will be wiser in the end. Just trust that it ain't happening for nothing. We have November, so you guys may be connecting with a Scorpio, or is it a Libra? I don't think it's a Libra. Is it a Sag? Yeah, I believe it's a Sag, a Scorpio or a Sag, right? Make sure y'all double check that. But yeah, Scorpio or Sag possibly with this November energy. I'm pretty sure that's right, but could be someone born in November that you guys could be connecting with, or there could be something happening at the end of the year. November, just be on the lookout for November energies. We also have Broom, new home, new attitude. New home, new attitude. So for some of you, you've been thinking that you need to get out of your current environment to get in a new mind. Do it. I think people always say, oh, you can't just move every time you think you have a problem. But you know what? I think you should. I think that a lot of people need to do that to maybe look within. If you think that it's your city, get out of your city. Are you still afraid? Are you still insecure? Do you still not believe in yourself? Do you still have bad taste of friends? Are you still letting people walk all over you? Maybe it's not your city. Maybe you look within. Sometimes you can't get that epiphany like, oh my God, maybe it is me, until you do change your environment. So changing your environment isn't automatically going to change you, but it will give you new insight. And new insight is very, 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 very important. So if you feel like you need new insight, get into it. We also have a ring. A marriage will take place, either romantic or business. So I definitely think some of y'all could definitely be getting married for sure, because we have all that energy about, you know, healthy love. So some of you guys may be getting engaged, or you could be getting prepared to meet someone that you're going to be marrying this summer. I definitely think, you know, this is going to be a summer definitely a summer of love, but it's definitely going to be a summer to really, really be mindful of what you want. It's going to be a summer to really kind of like ask yourself like, okay, is this enough? You know, if it isn't, why isn't it enough? Am I giving myself enough? Am I just saying that this person is enough because maybe they have enough in other areas? You know, maybe they're able to take me on a lot of dates, but I don't really like anything else about them. Maybe, you know, they have a good family background, but they work too much and they're too busy for me. Maybe they're physically attractive, but they don't really like what I do for work and they always talk down about it, you know? There's always a point to ask yourself, why do I like this? Why is this something that I want? And this is going to be the time to really ask yourself, why am I okay with this? Now, some people know I'm not ready, you know, to be committed. I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to do this. I like doing this. I like doing this. It's all about knowing. It's about knowing what you want. And if you've been asking for something, this is going to be the time where you're able to see, are you even ready for what you're asking? Or are you playing yourself? Are you even ready, or are you playing yourself? So let's get into it, guys. Let's wrap it up with our last 3 decks. We have the Star Seed Oracle. The Star Seed Oracle. Let's go ahead and get into this. This is similar to my Work Your Light Oracle, and I'm going to pull my Work Your Light Oracle as well. These cards were designed by the same people. This deck and my Work Your Light Oracle. So let's see what we have. I think this is definitely going to be a time to just hold ourselves accountable and really ask ourselves, am I doing everything that I can to ensure that I get the love that I want? Or am I being too lax? Am I not really taking care of myself? People are not perfect, okay? Stop letting everybody give you advice. Stop letting everybody tell you that this is what you should be doing. Most of them are nuts. Unless you know that someone isn't a nut, and you can tell that they're not a nut by their own life, don't take their advice. Please, please. You know what? You can take my advice because I know I'm a good source of advice, but don't take nobody else's advice, okay? Talk to your trusted source, watch a video or two, pray to the Lord, and go on, okay? In whatever order suits you, get into it. But I mean, make sure you're getting good advice. Don't listen to the podcast, okay? Don't read all the Reddit stuff. Trust yourself and trust your process. All right, let's get into it. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. So make sure you're getting a lot of rest. We had that angel of balance in the very first spread. So make sure you're getting plenty of rest. Water your garden. Give yourself what you need. Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You definitely have a lot of protection around you. You definitely are very, very safe. If you aren't feeling like you're safe, start doing a prayer of protection. Psalms 91 or Psalms 23. Just pray a prayer of protection over yourself. Pray that you're always protected from dark energies. Pray that any energy that you come across is not able to, take up home or take up residence in your energy or around you. You can also do a meditation where you envision yourself protected by a white light. That could be something that you do as well. Let's get into the golden children. This says inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. So we have two cards here that's talking about tenderness. Water your garden and the golden child. Both of these cards have tenderness on here. So maybe your inner child needs some tenderness. Maybe your inner child needs some gentleness. And I think that is such an important thing to be mindful of, because a lot of times we want to connect with our intuition and our vision and our creativity, but we forget that that's our inner child. So you can't connect to that energy not really having faith. You can't connect to that energy thinking negatively about yourself. If you have a kid that has a brilliant imagination and you're coming to them trying to get ideas from them and you're like, you can't really do it anyway, you're not smart enough anyway, you're not good enough anyway, you're a joke anyway, how do you expect that child to be open with you about their ideas? It's the same way we connect with ourselves. If you talk down about yourself, if you don't really validate yourself, how can you expect your inner child to open up to you? More tenderness. More tenderness. Stop saying that stuff is your fault. Stop always taking the blame. Be gentle and be kind. And if it is your fault, don't be mean to yourself about it. Don't show yourself hate and shame about it. Don't make yourself feel guilty for your mistakes. Show yourself tenderness. Rare gifts, the golden children. You have to be kind to yourself. There are many gifts that a lot of people lose touch of and never get connected with again because they're so nasty to their inner child. They're so nasty to the most gifted part of themselves. So don't do that. Don't let that be you. And lastly, we have called soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Of course, I love this card for so many different reasons. I mean, I love remembering that we are all called to do something incredible. God has us all here for a reason. If you were not supposed to be here, you would not be here. People pass every day. There were people here yesterday who did not make it into today. So it's always a blessing to be here. It's always a blessing to have an opportunity to try again. And we are called. If you are here, then you are called to do something. Even if you're just called to make it to tomorrow, there's a calling over your life. You are picked specifically to do something, and that should make you feel confident in yourself. That should make you feel like you have to be ready to show up. It's kind of like being an understudy for a really big play. You have to practice all the time because you don't know when you're gonna be called. I think that God handles everything for us anyway, but you don't know when you're going to be called to get your mind right or when you're going to be called to meet somebody or take a risk, because God is going to do it, but you can't have faith without works. You have to do some stuff too, okay? So remember that you're called, and remember that you have a part to play in your fate as well, in your destiny as well. Don't just sit there and wait for it to unfold. You do the work so you can connect with it. Also, we have the Work Your Light Oracle cards. Let's get into a few of these. Work Your Light Oracle. Y'all can tell those decks are kind of beat up a little bit. It might not look a little beat up. It looks beat up in person though, because those are my first decks. I've had those decks for like 4 years. May is my anniversary of doing this work, and I always forget it. I always think about it in June or July. Ain't that crazy? All right, let's see what we have and Work Your Light. Remember, this is messages for the summer. This is things to be mindful of in the summer. This summer, we have Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Take a risk. You go first. The universe will catch you. If you've been talking about it, make a plan. Take action this summer. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So I love this. I love this because we have messages of rest and we also have messages of action. We have literally take action. Be assertive, get into it, make it happen. But also here we have take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. When I read this, it reminds me that we're going to be working for a lifetime. You don't have 6 months to get it right. You have the rest of your life to get it right. So don't feel like you have to get it right now. Give yourself that flexibility, but also give yourself some structure. Flexibility with structure is definitely the name of the game. We also have Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So the Pleiades is a star cluster. The beings from the Pleiades come down to Earth, like these beings are coming down from the star cluster to Earth to uplift humanity, to raise the vibration of Earth, to heal Earth, to make everybody happy, to make everybody feel good. This is star seed energy. So you have a bigger purpose, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. You have a bigger purpose. It's bigger than you. I always say it's bigger than you. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us manifesting the $10,000. We have a purpose beyond these physical things. So just be mindful of that and let that, just give you confidence. Just like I said, you are called, you have a purpose. We lastly have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future. I think it's so important to take breaks because our ancestors really didn't get to take breaks. Even our ancestors that still living, if you're a Black woman and you have a Black mother, or even if you're, of Latin descent and you have a Latin mother, you absolutely have a mom that's never stopped working. Even if you have an Asian mom, people of color, okay? The mothers of color never get a break. Be 60, 70, 50 years old, still working, still taking care of the grandkids, still moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour, still doing this, still doing that, still active in the community, still doing this, still doing that. And it's because our ancestors never really got to see the value of rest. It's been ingrained in us to feel lazy if our schedule is not packed, to be restless and uncomfortable if we have to sit still. When we sit still, we have to just listen to our voice, listen to our thoughts. We can't run, we can't distract ourselves from anything. And I think a lot of women of color distract ourselves with tasks because we don't want to deal with what we're experiencing or because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. But rest is so important. And I think that's something that a lot of us are going to be healing. Just getting comfortable with rest, being in a space where you know the importance of rest, being in a space where you look forward to rest, and having that rest motivate you. We should rest because we're deserving of that. So yes, I think a lot of our ancestors are definitely causing us to rest, but also rewriting the future. You don't have to have the same path that everybody else had. You can do something different. I think that something that a lot of the women in my family have to be is a little hyper masculine, because there's men in my family, but there's not many men who lead their households with no tolerance in my family. My dad was the kind of man that if he's we couldn't say that we hated each other in the household. We couldn't talk nasty to each other. We couldn't disrespect each other. We couldn't, curse at each other in the household. And he lived by that standard, and he made sure that we lived by that standard. That wasn't a thing that we could have just talked trash to each other and we feel like it. No, we're going to love each other and respect each other and care for each other. And I think a lot of, and of course my dad was older, I think a lot of men just kind of allow whatever to happen. And women are so independent these days that women are running the show. Women are running the show. And I could have chosen to, be a woman that runs the show and just live my life like an Energizer bunny, running the show. But I welcome a lot of rest. I spend a lot of days resting. I dream of rest. I want a life where I have to do nothing. That's what I want to do, honey. I want to make something that's so big it pays me for the rest of my life and I can just relax. That's my dream, And I think a lot of us have dreams of not working. I think this is the first generation where we really do not dream of labor. But I feel like we feel pressured to align our dreams with what other people have wanted, because we feel like, well, maybe I should want this. But that's why we have to rewrite the future. Because no matter what you want, and even if you do want to work and be a mom and be the leader and be the independent person, you can do whatever you want. But that's the beauty of it. You do what you want. You don't do it because you have to do it. You don't do it because you wish you could do something else, but somebody got to do it, so you do it. You do it because it's your true desire. So I think that we're going to really see ourselves become who we really want to be, our ancestors' wildest dreams, doing what we want, basking in our independence, basking in our glory, basking in our femininity as well, and our nurturing energy, having all of the things, not feeling like we got to be hard all the time and not ever soft, having both, being honored in both. I think that's what we're coming close to. And also, everything is being exposed. Everything is being exposed right now. You know who's homophobic, sexist, who's racist, who's a predator, who supports predators, who's on drugs, who beats women, who supports the beaters of women. You know. You've seen video. You've seen people come out publicly and say what they support. You know who supports genocide. You know who supports the government. You know who supports that foolishness. You know who supports it. So we can't say, oh, I'm just listening to the music, I don't know. Oh, I'm just messing with this person, I don't know. Oh, I didn't know. No. You can tell if someone is a woman hater, if someone is a hater in general, if they just a hater, if they just jealous, if somebody really is waiting on your downfall, if somebody really wants you so they could get what you got, you can tell that now more than ever. So let that and everything else be your reasoning of change. The world is so different. Everything is different right now. There is no veil. Everything is being revealed to us. So use that for your benefit. A lot of our ancestors didn't have a choice. So we have the power to rewrite future. We have the power to rewrite the future with all of the opportunities that we have. So make it make sense, make it count. Lastly, we have our Divine Abundance Oracle deck, guys. Let's get into the Divine Abundance Oracle deck. I love the Divine Abundance Oracle deck. And this is going to be the last 3 cards that I'll pull for us for our summer spread. Let me know if y'all like the seasonal messages. Let's get into it. We have individuality. Each person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth School. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth School. So individuality. Everybody is on their own journey. Trust and remember that. If you feel like people don't understand you, remember that it's not their job to understand you. It's not even their job to support you. They don't have to do nothing. It's your job to figure out what you're going to do about that. No one owes you support. No one owes you anything. So the people that choose to give you support, what are you going to do about that? The people that choose to give you challenges, what are you going to do about that? This is time to figure out what are you going to do about what people choose to give you. Divine flow. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. So beautiful, divine flow, get into it. And lastly, we have companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. So of course we have a message about how important it is to be present in friendships and also about following the divine flow. I think that it's easy to just want to go against, what your spirit is telling you, because your spirit could be telling you something scary. Quit your job, get out of your relationship, move across the country. You don't know what your spirit will lead you into. It'll always be your purpose, but it can be scary because we don't have the methods to see what that is going to lead us in, even if you have gifts. Now, depending on who you're working with, you may be able to see a little bit more than I can, but I can only see what I need to see and what is available for me to see. Like, if I could see everything, I would have avoided plenty, okay? Certain things we can't see, and we have to go through these things anyway. So I think it's important to just make sure you're open to whatever you see. Make sure you're open to dealing with or coping with or handling whatever you see with love and with openness, because it's so easy to kind of get anti-life or anti-struggle or anti-confusion when in reality, these things are unavoidable, So I really want us to make the most of this summer. I really want us to remember these messages and just be excited about the chance to make change. So yes, guys, let me know how you feel about this message down below in the comment section. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you guys for being here as always. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Bless.